Good morning, my friends. This is Tyra Jarvis with Kefi Coaching, coming to you live with Transformation Tuesday. I hope everybody's having a great start to the week. I come to you live every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, and we've been talking about mindset and motivation and transformation, and then whatever the topic of the day or the week or whatever was currently kind of top of mind for me. And of course, you can't be looking at the last Tuesday of a year, any year, but especially this year, 2020, and not be thinking about the new year and the fresh start. And, every new year, it's kind of a fun week. I mean, many people, in a typical year would have this week off or would take this week off and use it as a time to reflect and think about the prior year. And I think we're definitely saying good riddance to this one, but I'm certain that we've learned a lot. We've learned many, many things, I'm sure. And for me, I'm more convinced than ever that staying positive so that you can be creative and see possibility and seek solutions to problems and help yourself as well as help others with those kinds of things is what really is required to survive in any year, and especially a year like this with a global pandemic. But as we look towards the new year, the infamous New Year's resolutions are looming, and the statistics are pretty clear. They don't work. There's a lot of reasons why they don't work, so I kind of wanted to flip it a little bit and look at what could make them work a little bit better. And just so everybody's clear, only 8% of us achieve our goals anyway. But then when you put the added pressure and some of the habits that we have and the optimism really around New Year's resolutions, you start to see that we kind of set ourselves up not to be successful. But 50% of Americans are going to make resolutions every new year. And the most common ones are going to be eat healthy, exercise, stop smoking, maybe, look at money, stop spending, save more, that kind of stuff, debt reduction, getting organized. We tend to try to do all of them and we try to do too many, and we try to have these long protracted project cycles, if you will, or fulfillment cycles that really don't set us up to recognize small interim milestones and things that can actually help us be more successful so that we can reward ourselves and recognize ourselves and do some things to not only spark motivation, but sustain it. And I'm doing a little bit of work right now on self-motivation and on how that is one of the key secrets to achieving goals at any time, not just, in a new year. So some of the statistics from the Journal of Clinical Psychology is that 80% of resolutions will fail. And that means 156 million failed resolutions, some extreme number like that. 80% of them will be broken by January 31st. 90% of them are health and fitness related, will be broken by January 15th. And by the end of the year, only 5% of us will have preserved with our resolutions intact. So what kinds of things, can we do to help be more successful with our resolutions, whatever they are? And I kind of hinted at them a little bit, but it's, this year it's going to be different. And obviously we're not going to be all flooding in gyms on the 1st. And that's not going to be the case, but there's other things that we can do. But one of the key reasons, some of the key reasons that they could be more successful. Let's flip it that way. Number one, you want to start with the end in mind and really visualize what it is that you're trying to create for yourself and why you want to do it. So I like to use weight and fitness, and I see Jacqueline here on the line. So thank you for joining me this morning. You want to be looking at what would fitness give you, more vitality, more vibrancy, more of a fresh perspective on things. You'd have more mobility. You'd be able to be more active and do more things. And so you would ultimately have ultimate wellness or health, if eating healthier was part of that. So you want to start with the end in mind and what that's going to do for you and why you want to do it, and be really clear on that. And excuse me, you want to make sure that it's coming from you, for your needs and your wants and your desires. If it's something outside yourself, you're going to be less attached to it. The other thing is, try not to do too many, maybe 3 at the most, and have them be positive focused rather than negative focused. So that might look like you want to eat healthy, not you want to avoid certain things. I mean, they're kind of two sides to the same coin, but you want to flip it so that it's positive and it's always motivating. And again, I mentioned you want to have shorter milestones. So I think one of the things I like from Dr. Anderson in the Optavia program is you start with 3 days, and then you go to 7 days, and then you go to 21 days. And ultimately, it's going to take 66 days for a new habit. So what does that look like for you? What kind of new behaviors are you going to have to do? And, there's leading habits and lagging indicators. The lead and lag indicators that I think are really key in this conversation. So it's doing the small incremental steps that are going to realize the end result. So you don't just use the scale, you use the activities. Did you drink your water today? Did you eat healthy today? Did you exercise today? So you look at the things that you're doing on a daily basis that's going to set you up for more success that way. And it's step by step, small steps. Having a community around you, I think, is key, whether that's a individual accountability partner, somebody that you can partner with. It's always a lot more fun to take the journey with somebody. But the biggest reason that you will either hit your milestones or not is consistency. And so it starts with these small steps. And as you build some confidence, then you can build some momentum around those for sure. And you're looking for being in touch with that all the time. So one of the tools that I usually like to do this time of year is a vision board exercise. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated. And it's, they have you can actually do it virtually, like you can do like maybe a Pinterest board or something like that. I prefer to do it hands-on because I like the feeling of actually touching things and doing something. So you want to just make some time, gather up some supplies, maybe a poster board, something that you want to put the images on, maybe old magazines, or go buy some magazines that, represent some of the things that the areas of your life that you want to feature. And it's really collaging, which is something that we're practicing in my Landmark Wisdom course right now, is the notion of collaging. And so you can kind of get these images down on a board and you can see something and things reveal themselves to you. But ideally, you're looking to pull images and sayings that are going to be indicative of the year that you want to create. So if you were standing on December 31st, 2021, what would these elements of your life look like? And they could come from any area of your life. It could come from your health, your work, your relationships, what you do for fun, for leisure, maybe aspiring to travel again, do some things like that. So give yourself about an hour of uninterrupted time and have some scissors and maybe some glue and just go through these magazines and pull out pictures of things that really resonate with you, that really spark you, that spark some inspiration in you. And then gather them all up. And then as you start to sort through them, pick the ones that are most meaningful for you and affix them to the board. And then you'll have this image that you can consult daily or weekly, or just have something that keeps those images of the year that you want to create for yourself top of mind. And so I just think the vision board is a great tool. I highly recommend it. Another thing that I'd like you to think about is that my focus this year, working with myself as well as my clients and looking at some of the constraints that were presented by the pandemic, as well as the opportunities, we had a chance to really get in touch with what's essential in my life. I mean, I had somebody tell me, if you're looking at your money and your expenses, go back to March when the pandemic first started, March and April, and look at what you really spent money on when it was the start. You would see what maybe is more essential for you in your money space, just by looking at that perspective. But I started to look at success and fulfillment and see them a little bit differently. And one of my favorite quotes now is from Tony Robbins, and it's, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And so my focus has been looking at fulfillment and what does it mean? And the basic essence of it is that it needs to come from within, which is what I'm talking about with these New Year's resolutions. It needs to come from within you, and it needs to spark your own motivation and your own inspiration around things that are going to be really resonate and really be important with you. And so I have a couple of new things that I've been working on around the topic of fulfillment and how you can use your own energy and inspiration to work for you rather than against you, and how you can create fulfillment and live it as a state of being every single day and have fulfillment now in the here and now, not in a forever, sometime down the road. And that there's actually a lot of peace and happiness and freedom around living that kind of a life and how to live a fulfilling life every day, regardless of your circumstances. And when you do it, it helps you really respond to the challenges that come before you. I mean, this time last year, we had no idea what was heading our way. And I'm going to say the same thing's true for 2021. We're being optimistic. We know that there's a lot of effort around the vaccine, and that we're getting better at treating the disease and those kinds of things. At the same time, we don't know. There's no certainty other than uncertainty. So having yourself prepared for whatever comes your way is going to be key. So I just want to make you aware that I have a master class coming up on the fulfillment formula, which is what I've created this year. And it's going to be Wednesday, January 6th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And if you think you might be interested in learning a little bit more about what I'm sharing around the 3 steps to living a fulfilling life now, I encourage you to sign up. You would go to tyrajarvis.com/FF for fulfillment formula -masterclass/. And you can register, and I would love for you to join me at the masterclass. So with that, I am going to wrap it up. This is going to be my last Transformation Tuesday for 2020. Just be realistic about your plans for next year, what it is you want to create in whatever space or domain of your life. And, set yourself up for success by having them be positive and having them be internally driven and connected to your why and why it is that you want that in your life. And then set small steps, and don't try to do it all. Don't try to eat the elephant all at one sitting. Maybe if you're going to do 4 things, do 1 each quarter, or maybe do 1 or 2 each quarter, and try to stay focused on those, whatever they are. And with that, I'm going to wish you a wonderful Tuesday and a wonderful week and a happy new year. And I look forward to connecting with you next Tuesday for Transformation Tuesday. And again, next Wednesday is my masterclass, The Fulfillment Formula. It's Wednesday the 6th, 11 a.m. Pacific time. To register, go to tyrajarvis.com/FF-masterclass/. All right? You have a great day and a great new year, and I'll talk to you next year. Bye-bye.